Welcome to the Knowledge Boner podcast, day 2 of the money management series. I'm Dylan Starr here with my boy Wally Wynn. Have an awesome boom before we even dive into the money management stuff. Wally followed up from his networking event and has an awesome deal he gets to follow up on, and it's pretty much closed, right? Already worked out the agreements, just got to work out the numbers stuff coming up. So it's a big income boom for Wally, and that's going to be not just upfront. No, it's going to be a monthly retainer, right, Wally?
Yep, it's me monthly.
That's awesome. So congrats on that.
Appreciate it. You know, gotta do what you gotta do. Kablam! No, so really, I guess just to go notes like very, very quickly here. You know, relationship capital is so important in business, right? Like the most important thing that you can build is relationship capital with people. What I mean by relationship capital is literally like almost like when you make a new friend, right? The longer you've been friends, the more favors you guys do stuff for each other, the more like value you give each other, then that relationship becomes deeper and deeper and deeper, right? Well, but in this case, it was from a business relationship first. Now, of course, we're friends also, but from a business standpoint, you know, I built a lot of value with her ahead of time. I did a lot of work, did a lot of free work, and just really just delivered value. And then come back full circle. She asked me what I'm doing, a year and a half later, and now she wants to sign up as a client.
So that's going to be, you expanding that one, income stream, building upon it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, for episode 1 of this week, for those that tuned in, we kind of just talked about the philosophy behind why it's important to, budget correctly, set money aside so you can be in a position to be able to, expand upon and build multiple streams of income. And so today we're going to talk about why it's important to hone in and focus on one stream first before expounding upon it. So if you did everything correctly, you're budgeting, you're setting money aside, you're ready to focus on whatever skill it is that you want to do, and start expanding upon it. So right now Wally does, marketing, funnels, advertising, messenger bots, and, focus on his clients, and then honing in on those and then scaling and just making that one solid income stream. So I want to focus on the importance of really diving into one and before. So why don't you give them the analogy that we were talking about before and why this is important?
Yeah. So the analogy we're talking about before is actually we got from it's a video that Dylan Seafood did. Dan Luck, and we've talked about Dan Luck a lot well, I guess not necessarily about him specifically. We mentioned him a lot, but anyway. So one of his concepts that he gives is and I think it's really awesome to explain kind of what we're talking about is the idea is the gold mine concept. So gold mine concept, but specifically talking about drilling for oil. That's what it is. Okay, so and basically in the example he draws these different like oil rigs and talks about how when people dig for oil, right? Sometimes you got to dig really, really, really deep to hit the oil that you want to make the money that you want to get, right? But what will happen is that a lot of people, will start up companies or start up businesses or whatever, and they won't drill far enough. Conceptually, right? So imagine your business or your company or your skill set that you're trying to develop is one of these oil rigs, right? But and you started digging a little bit, but you didn't quite dig far enough to actually get the freaking oil, to get your results, get your gold mine, get your cash, right? So what happens is a lot of people get the shiny object syndrome. And so they'll start multiple businesses, right? So imagine there are those across your screen or in your brain as multiple different oil rigs, right? But none of them dug deep enough to actually get you any results, right? Maybe you only did it for a month, maybe you did it for 2 months, right? Maybe you didn't quite stick it through for a year, maybe you gave up after 2 years or something. It doesn't matter what the situation is. But the concept is basically you didn't dig far enough, you didn't go far enough into your business or into the hole, so to speak, to actually reap the benefits, get the oil, get your cash, right? And so that's the concept we're trying to explain when it comes to, building your first revenue stream. It's like just like that, getting your oil rig to dig deep enough that you actually reap the benefits of all the work that you're putting in, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And we talked before, for everyone that's been following along, on why it's important to make your first income stream high ticket, right? Doing some kind of form of service that you can, whether it's coaching or anything you want to do, even if you have a job, it's going to be way worth your time on the side, selling your own skill or your expertise or whatever it is on the side for high ticket. Just as Wally's doing his high ticket, not just upfront, but also, residually, and that adds up. And the kind of main goal, your first goal needs to be to get to that 10K per month um, income level, to where you can actually, before you start worrying about scaling and all that other stuff, right? You want to master getting your one skill and your one revenue stream up to 10K per month. Now, that's not 10K per month in sales. That's 10K per month profit for you. So where your actual income, your net income is going to be $10,000. That's kind of that first sweet spot that you should really focus on before diving into all the other ways that you can add upon that to build other revenue streams towards it, right? And there's so many other ways you can do that, and we'll talk about that later this week. But today the main topic is going to be just focusing on that one, and like I said, making it something that you can do service based. And I even kind of expound upon that too. Is it's also a good idea, I think what's exciting about this is we followed so many people. We can kind of take the best of multiple worlds and combine it into this, right? So if you're listening to this as an entrepreneur, you have actually, I love this, Wally. You can Grant Cardone it to stay broke and set money aside to invest. Then unlock that shit to get your one income stream to 10K, and Gary V that shit while you're doing it to already have content curation of yourself doing your skill set. So you already are having content out there. And then so when you do hit your 10K, guess what? You can start adding other revenue streams to build upon that because you've already been doing content creation, right?
Yep.
And I mean, that's literally taking the best of the philosophies of other people that we followed and we learned, and applying that to this. And so you really focus in. You're going to go and you're going to get to 10K, and then you want to focus on scaling at that point, right?
Wait, and let's talk just for a second about that 10K. Now, this is not the first time you made $10,000 in a month. Okay, not the first time. Like 10K, we're talking like you know for a fact that you will make $10,000 next month for a fact, like no doubt in your mind. And that's what we're talking about. That kind of income.
Yeah, like you have your skill, you've invested into yourself, and you've mastered your skill to the point where you can go and get 10K in a month, like this, like you have it down packed, like you're doing it consistently. And if you were to lose everything and you had to start over from scratch, you have your skill down so packed that you can just go do it again. That's what I mean by mastering that as a skill to that first tier of $10,000, and really being focused on it. And like Wally said, you don't want to have the shiny object syndrome and go and do all this other stuff. And even you'll see, even content curation it takes skills, right? You have to form and develop other habits and stuff while you're doing it, and just get into that pattern of consistency. Which brings me to my next point for focus is you have to be consistent on your daily stuff for just your one income stream. Now, if you're listening to this and you're working a job, your first goal is obviously, you got to realize you have two income streams, right? Your high income stream, which is going to be the one you're building at 10K, and then you also have your job. Well, when you get to the point where you're ready to let go of that, you leave your job, and then now you can focus completely all in on your one income stream. And and you got to realize too, you're letting that one go. So your job does count as an income stream, okay? But the difference is you're trading time for money. So the goal here, guys, especially as an entrepreneur, is you want to avoid trading time for money. And it's different when you're an entrepreneur. So you may be watching, you're saying, okay, but Dylan, Wally, you're putting in so much time right now to build this income stream. And yes, but don't confuse that with a traditional job. Traditional job, you have to put in that time regardless to get that money. As an entrepreneur, all the time you put in up front is what continuously gains you an income. So you do the work one time. So when you master scaling and automating and building assets, you got to realize, like take real estate, for example, if you put in the time to go and find the right property for real estate that's going to be used as a rental to give you cash flow, you only put in that time one time. And that cash flow is boom, 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 continuous. Your business is exactly the same way. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about that?
No, I don't. I think it's good. I mean, because at the end of the day, like as much as I can harp on, like Yeah, we've actually talked about this a lot, having a high income skill, and it's like is the more we can harp on having it, it's just that's just what you got to start with. That's just the beginning step. That's step one, step uno.
Yeah.
You got to have it, right?
So so let's kind of deep dive into that. I know that seems very broad for those listening, but like, okay, I don't like, what the hell do I do? You got to ask yourself, what are you actually an expert at? What are you good at? Is it, can you do personal training? Are you a I mean, guys, you could be a badass video gamer who plays Fortnite that crushes everybody's face.
Right. You could be
Surprise how,
really, really funny. You could
yeah.
be super, super entertaining. You could make badass
Mhm.
videos. You could take
Yeah.
awesome pictures. You could be a freaking shuffler. For people who don't know what a shuffler is, it's those people that are, you see them at raves, or you see them at all these like crazy events where all the lights and stuff are, and they're bouncing around. They look like they're doing the Running Man. That's a shuffler. He could be
Hmm.
really good at that.
Yeah. Because especially if you're combining this with content curation, guys, you got to realize social media has made it the game completely different, right? So you can have somebody that let's say you want to go and you like music and you want to perform on stage. Well, you can spend all your time grinding, hustling, and going and find local events and then going and playing on stage, right? And doing free time. Well, there are other people who are talented who are just posting videos on YouTube who has a huge following, and they're going to get way better gigs and sell it for higher than you just because they're using the power of social media.
And on top of that, just because they use the power of social media, they're probably making an income stream just from posting the videos. Not even talking about going and meeting people.
Exactly. And so if that's something that you do enjoy doing, right? I know people are going to hate these answers, and it is what it is. But it's just so broad. If that's something you love doing, and let's say you just love filming yourself and playing music, well, then at that point your skill is going to be everything involving YouTube, right? How to grow your channel, how to eventually monetize that, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's doing coaching, right?
Yep.
Maybe you're just so good that you want to teach other people how to play an instrument. That could be your service that you do. So what you got to realize is at that point, if that's what you choose, you're going to curate content while you're doing it. You're still going to be doing your content, but at the side, you need to figure out, okay, how can I sell this as a service for a price, right? It could be $1,000, $2,500, whatever it is, and to give somebody a month of your time, right? Break up your time on the side, especially if you have a job, and how can you master that to the point where you know that you can make $10,000 a month?
Mm-hmm.
And what's so cool about it, guys, is you can be on, I mean, we're on a platform called Zoom right now. I mean, guys, you can be face to face with people in a completely different state, selling your services and being on, and then just coaching them and helping them. So I think right now with coaching and all these services have really changed the game, where people can focus on a side hustle, high
Mm-hmm.
income skill. And the thing with it is you got to realize it's pure profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to, now obviously, like with stuff like Wally's doing, there's a lot of, he has expenses, right? He has marketing expenses, softwares, outsourcing some other work. So it's, his margins are different. But when you're doing solely coaching based stuff, um, then you're getting pure profit, right? And then, that's why my thing is sales. Like, I love doing high ticket. So whatever, my profit is literally selling packages for other influencers and other um, marketing companies, or whomever. So that's pure profit in my pocket. So I chose to make that my one high income skill, is just closing, to build
Mm-hmm.
up to a certain point, right? And once you
So
really
like
master that.
so yeah, I'll even expound this for a second. So let's think about this from a different angle and say, okay, so let's say I decide what my high income skill is, right? Or I decide what I want to do. And let's go from that angle. Let's say I decide what I want to do, and let's say it is. So I'll just take myself for example. If I want to do internet marketing, right, digital marketing, that kind of stuff. Whenever I say, okay, that's my job. Now I have to figure out within that job, or within that role that I want to play in my business, what are the high income skills that I need to learn to be the best at them, right? So I think that'll give you guys some direction as far as like how to think about what which high income skill to focus on, what I want to do, right? So for example, in my realm of the world, the top income skills are: one, copywriting; two, networking; and then number three is state management. So state management being like your mentality, keeping yourself motivated, on the right path, discipline, consistent, that kind of thing, right? Those are the three high income skills that you have to master in my realm to ever to really truly be successful in a role, right? And I'm not
Mhm.
saying that I'm masters by any means, but I'm just saying that I've figured out the three that I need to really hone in on to be successful at what I want to do, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's what it's all about is you just really have to know, you really have to list out and know what kind of skills it is that you're wanting to do and what you want to master at. And once you got it, guys, just hone in, make that first goal, the 10K mark, and then we'll talk about how to expand upon it and go more in depth on that during this week. So Monday is how to budget, how to set money aside. Now you're going to be focused on your main skill that you want to do and investing that money, right? To master your skill, get it up to where you can scale one thing, just like Wally said, dig deep to the point where you have it down. And then once you get to that 10K per mark, then you can focus on scaling as well as really adding other streams on top of it, right? To where like it's part of what you're already doing. So what I mean by that is you're not, let's say you're doing fitness, right? You can add multiple layers of income within you focus on fitness, but that doesn't mean all of a sudden, okay, I'm making $30,000 a month doing fitness, and I have another part thing with fitness of affiliate marketing, selling a product at the same time, and then now I'm going to add insurance. Like it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't be like, okay, well, I need another stream of income. So I'm going to go and learn everything I can about selling insurance, and I'm going to do insurance on the side. And now I have fitness. No, you're like way off of a not focus on a spectrum whatsoever. You want to build your multiple streams within your tier.
Yep. So, for example, like if you're in the fitness niche, one tier you could layer in is supplementation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even coaching, you can layer in coaching. You know, you can layer in personal coaching, one-on-one coaching. You can layer in some supplementation. You can layer in program design, right? Like I don't know if you guys know, but this is my niche was fitness also. I used to do personal training, that kind of stuff. So kinesiology background. So that's like interests me. So I obviously know the kind of layers that you can bring in there. But yeah, is you have to stick to all the things that are kind of related to your niche, and that'll kind of give you the idea of like what kind of income streams you can layer in there.
Yep, which is going to be tomorrow's topic. So we will deep dive more into that tomorrow. Hopefully this was valuable to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in so far for this week. And if you guys have any questions, post below in the comments if you're tuned in watching this video version on YouTube. If you're on Anchor, as always, you can send us voice over on Anchor, as well as the Reddit links that we have. Search the subreddit under Knowledge Boner. Is it Knowledge Boner or Knowledge Boner Podcast?
It's just knowledge boner.
Yeah, so that's Wally's realm. You can ask any questions, stuff like that you guys have specifically. Anything you want us to cover, especially for next week. We love getting feedback from you guys and covering content that you like. And I know that this week's going to be very valuable in the terms of financial stability, because that seems to be a big thing for a lot of people is not being able to get started with anything because they just don't know. They don't understand like what to do, and they've just been taught wrong. So we're going to be sharing with you guys everything that we've learned this week in terms of money management, scaling, multiple streams of income, and etc. And the whole purpose of this week is just so you guys don't fall into the trap of multiple streams, because yes, you want multiple streams, but at the same time, you don't want to be scattered with multiple streams, because then next thing you know, you have nothing, right? The man who chases two birds catches none. Pretty sure that's the saying. It's two birds, two rabbits, wherever the hell, whatever animal it is you want to go chase. But if you try chasing two at the same time, you're not going to get either one of them. But if you can focus on one and expound upon it, then you're golden, right? Then you can go worry about chasing all the other animals you want to. But get one right first, guys. That's the whole purpose and the whole goal of getting this drilled into your guys' head. Again, drill, pun intended. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. If you have any questions, post it below, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.